Hi guys, Chris here with Super Savvy Travelers. Before I do anything, please like this video and subscribe to this channel because a lot of important stuff is coming up specifically today. We're going to go over the steps that it takes for you to actually get in and buy your Italian dream home. It sounds simple. It's very different than any other property purchase anywhere else I have worked in real estate or bought property. So bear with me because I'm going to probably leave out a lot of information which you will need from our course. Please go down there below and click on that link there. Understand that the course is undergoing a revamp. It's going to be a lot slicker and it's going to be more expensive. So if you want the cheap version, which still has all the valuable information in it, go get it now while the getting's good. And also buy my book and read it. These are the pitfalls that we have been able to steer our guys around. But unfortunately, people who did not book with us, we've seen them fall into these holes. And you don't want to. So, and they're entertaining, they're short. It's not like I use big words and junk like that. It's you know, I think you'll find it an easy read. So the first thing, step one, create the ideal scene. You don't know what you're looking for yet, so you need to create that. What is your ideal scene? Make a list of priorities. Now, if you have health issues, probably a hospital nearby is high on your list of priorities, maybe even number one. And that eliminates all the rest of Italy, right? All you're going to look for is places around the hospital. If you want a sea view property, if that's number one, boom, that eliminates the whole other part of Italy, okay? So you can do that by going through your priorities one by one and making sure you really hone in on the area that's going to give you most of what you need and want. That's so important. Before you do anything, that's what you need to do. Then you need to go experience what life is like in that town or in that zone or in that area, and it's different than being on vacation. If you have an opportunity to go there for a couple of weeks, get an Airbnb, and really fold yourself into the community and really get an idea of what life is like. Talk to the locals, you know, get invited to dinner. It's actually pretty easy. People love to invite you to dinner. Go to the festivals, go to the markets, you know, do all of the things that you would do on a daily basis because this will be your life. Then, as I said, take our course and read my book. Very important. The next thing you want to do is start looking at getting your Codice Fiscale. Once you've figured out where you want to be, you can hire us to help you. All of these steps, you're going to see that sometimes there are things that you just don't want to do. And I understand, and we do them for you, or we help you do them. The Codice Fiscale is one of them. The Codice Fiscale is the Italian tax number that you need to have in order to buy anything of consequence. You need it for a car, you need it for furniture, and you need it for a house. So that's the first. You can't even make an offer on a house without a Codice Fiscale. So you need to get that first. Now, there's various different ways of doing it. You can go online, you can go to the consulate, if they even make appointments anymore. After COVID, they all kind of just, I don't know what happened with the consulates after COVID. I'm just going to say it has not been ideal. Now, also, Nick Mehta, during COVID, he set up a special line for our guys because we could not get the Codice Fiscales and everybody wanted to buy properties. So he set up a special line and he still has that service up and running. It's a real easy, quick way to get it. Another thing is you can make an appointment at the Agenzia delle Entrate. You can do it anywhere in Italy because the Codice Fiscale is good anywhere in Italy. You don't have to go to the zone where you're going to be. You make an appointment with them, you go in, you bring your passport with you, bring an interpreter if you don't speak Italian, doesn't cost anything, you go in, you get it, and you walk out with your Codice Fiscale. Sometimes it takes up to 3 weeks to get an appointment, so make sure you schedule that in very carefully. Now, once you've decided the area, you can use websites like idealista.it, immobiliare.it, or the local realtor websites. Now, understand there's no multiple listing service in Italy. The realtor can only show you what's in his inventory. So if you like house A and it's with, you know, John Smith Immobiliare over there, you have to go to John Smith. If you like house B and it's Giuseppe Smith Immobiliare, you have to go to Giuseppe Smith and everywhere else. So you may end up going through 4 or 5 different agents depending on how hard it is to find your ideal scene. You can hire a buyer's agent. It's very weird and strange over there, but we have done that. Ivan De Luca has hired himself out for our guys as a buyer's agent. And he can make the appointments. He can show up. He speaks English. He can do all of those things. And he also has a special relationship with some of the other realtors. So it's a kind of a nice thing. However, understand that you're going to have to pay his commission on top of the commission that you have to pay the agent who's going to show you the house. So you're going to pay a double commission on that. Understand that it might be worth it. If the commission is $3,000-4,000, it might be worth it to have a buyer's agent just to hand it all over to you. Now, Idealista.it, immobiliare.it, don't email from these things. I have emailed so many realtors from these sites, never get a response back. I emailed them in Italian, they still don't respond. Email is almost a foreign thing to a lot of these guys over there. You know, our associates understand the importance of responding to emails. And, you know, they were always pretty good about it, but they're very good about it now because we go, look, our guys are all email. You know, you got to be on top of this stuff. So don't expect any response if you email these guys. You have to call them. Sometimes you have to show up in person. So basically, you set up your trip, get it all figured out, when you're going to go, the days you're going to be there, set up your Airbnb and whatnot, and then set up all your appointments. It's going to be a bit of a workaround because you got John Smith Immobiliare, you got Giuseppe Smith Immobiliare, whatever else going on. And you want to make sure that when you arrive, if you have, don't give yourself 2 days. Don't do that. Give yourself 10 days minimally in the one place you know you want to be, okay? That way you'll get a really good idea of the lay of the land, what it's like to be there, and be able to have time to look at properties. Now, understand that sometimes you call an agency and you go, I'd like to go on Sunday and see this house, you know, because, you know, we're going to be here and whatnot. He goes, well, the seller lives in Milan, and they're not going to be down here for 2 weeks. You know, how about we set it up for mid next month? No, that's not going to fly. You got to make sure that you have your appointments all set up like well in advance so that when you end up there, you're only looking at the houses that you want to see. You're not wasting any time. You're not sitting there waiting for somebody to arrive so that they can let you into the house and that kind of thing. You have to be really on the ball with this stuff. The next thing is you eliminate all the houses you don't want and you just whittle in on the one that you love. And when that happens, the first thing I like to do is get the floor plans from the agent. And many times they're on the agency websites and that sort of thing. It's no big deal. They'll give them to you. Make sure those floor plans are exactly corresponding to what you were shown and represented to be yours. There are agents, unfortunately, none of ours, that tell you things that are not true. For example, people have purchased a place and they said, well, the garden's supposed to come with it. And they sign the act and lo and behold, the garden is not theirs, or the terrace is not theirs, or the warehouse is not theirs. Now, if you sign those floor plans in the Notaio's office and it doesn't have that on it, it doesn't belong to you. Now, the Notaio is the guy who is entrusted by the state to oversee all of the legal real estate transactions that go on. They do other things too, but real estate is a big chunk of what they do, okay? And if you don't have a Notaio on your transaction, you don't own the property. He's the one that records the deed, so you don't own it, don't do it. Now, in his office, he's going to give you the floor plans, and you're going to look, and you're going to go, yes, those are correct. Because what you're saying is, this is what has been represented to me. Here's the kitchen, the soggiorno, here's the warehouse, here's the garden. It's all included on the floor plans there. Don't sign them unless everything's there. It's so important. Okay, I know that's a soapbox, but trust me. Now, if you want to make an offer, many times the agents will talk to the seller and they'll block the house for you, meaning it's in negotiations, and it is really brutta figura for somebody to come in and interrupt a negotiation and make another offer and have the seller take it. That's brutta figura. It's really not done anywhere I've done anything in Italy. It may be different in other areas, but in the areas in Tuscany, Puglia, Calabria, once you're in negotiation, the house is blocked for you. And you can very quickly get your inspections and everything done. Now, if you're insecure with that and you're so worried somebody else is going to snap up the house, you can do an offer letter, but you have to do it very, very carefully because there are wordings in the offer letter that turn it into what's called a compromesso, which is legally binding, and it can be a world of hurt. Let's say you find a huge defect in the property and you want to renegotiate or you want to just get out. Well, if you've signed a compromesso, you know, chances are you're going to have a huge problem. You're going to lose that deposit. So make sure, before you sign anything, first of all, make sure it goes through your attorney because he will check the title on the property. He will check all of the wordings in the documents. He will make sure you understand them. This thing about a compromesso and the offer letter, I did a whole video on it. Look for my switcheroo video. I'll put the link to the details down there. But there's certain wording that can turn it into something you don't want it to be. So make sure you understand that. Make sure you have your attorney review those documents before you sign them. Then you go get your inspections. You get your attorney jumping on it. Now, I will say something about Nick Mehta. I love his team because we were in Fiscale last year, and we had clients, and they were under, you know, a time crunch there, and they wanted to make the offer. They wanted to get the thing going, but we needed to make sure everything was in order first. So we have a line with Nick's office, and we said, look, these guys are under the gun, and we got to do it. And they did. They did it really quickly. Everything was turned around wonderfully quickly. We had Antonello, our architect, run in and do the inspection. We even had the builder there to talk about the cost of the renovations to make sure that what they wanted to do was possible within their budget. And the turnaround time on that was, it was head spinning. It was so fast and so beautifully done and so crisp and professional. I got to say that our teams are the best. Anyway, get all that done. Now your attorney, of course, is going to check the title, review all the documents before signing. And then the next thing you're going to do is set up a Wise account. Now Wise is an international online banking company, and everybody uses it. Everybody does what's called a bonifico, which is a wire transfer. So your deposits, the balance for the purchase of the house, the fees, everything is going to be done on a wire transfer. Do not set up an Italian bank account. Everybody that I know that set one up has gone and closed it because they're just so cumbersome and it doesn't make sense. You can do everything with Wise. Then once you get the go-ahead from your attorney, go ahead and send the deposit. Now, many times in the compromesso is the promise to buy and sell. You're promising to buy, they're promising to sell. It will have wording that says it's not valid until the deposit is paid. It would be good to make sure it has that wording in it so that you're not stuck with something you don't want. But again, your attorney will advise you on all of that stuff. The next is choose your notaio. I would lean heavily on my attorney for that, or find trusted sources to help you with the notaio. We know the good notaios in our areas. We found them. Their prices are right. They're very thorough. I'm really impressed with Notaio De Santis in Scalea because his admin is amazing. Jana, she's fantastic. I mean, she catches everything. So you choose the notaio because you're going to pay for it. Now, before you can go into the act, you have to have all the money to the notaio. So first thing you're going to do when you choose your notaio is you're going to ask him to set a dedicated notaio account. It's like an escrow account, because he cannot sign the deed until he knows either the money's in his control or the seller has it. Why would you give the seller the money before the deed is signed? Never do that. Set up your notaio bank account. It's 300 or 400 euros worth every penny. Then you're going to take your passport and your Codice Fiscale to the notaio for the notaio's appointment. I'm going to harp on the floor plan thing again. He's going to give you the floor plans and he's going to say, are they correct? And I've seen so many people go, yeah, I look at, they sign off. What you're signing is, yes, they are correct. And if you sign that in the notaio's office, you pretty much said to him, and you signed there with your name, that those are correct. That's what's been represented to you. That's what you're paying for, blah, blah, blah. And you're going to have a real hard time coming back after the fact if something has been misrepresented. Don't want to harp on the misrepresentation. Most of the agents are very, very good, very ethical, super diligent. Some, sadly, are not. Some are pure criminal. I will just say that. Some are pure criminal. And you need to protect yourself, and you need to know going in what you're looking at. After that, you get the keys and the house is yours. Now, understand the seller's not going to get his money right away. The notaio has to record the deed. He has to do all these other things. Then the seller gets his money. And at that point, usually 3-4 weeks later, you can go pick up your deed document from the notaio, and it's a done deal. So I left out a lot of really important information for the purpose of making this a video that's short and relatively digestible. The course we have is broken up into bite-sized and entertaining chunks so that you can see it, and then you can also watch it over and over again. I will put chapters in here so that you don't have to watch the whole thing at the same time. Anyway, there you go, guys. That gives you a brief overview of exactly what to expect when you buy your property in Italy. This gives you a basis on which to work. So if you haven't figured out your ideal scene yet, that's your first step. Get out a pen and paper, make it very detailed, and let's get you started. See you soon, guys.